In today's world, the United States of America is known for many things. Nevertheless, due to its singular arrangement of 50 states, a significant portion of the nation's lawmaking is frequently delegated to the level of the individual states. This has, over the course of many years, resulted in the United States passing a variety of laws that range from being just a little bit stupid to being downright strange. Even though many of the strangest laws in the United States are no longer enforced, sometimes because they were created as a result of fascinating historical backdrop, they continue to be an excellent method to improve your knowledge of trivia. Today, we are going to talk about top 10 laws in the USA that you didn't know. Before starting, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more future videos. Number 10. Criminals can't protect themselves from bullet wounds. In the state of New Jersey, if you are apprehended for committing a crime while wearing a bulletproof vest, you will not only be penalized for the crime itself, but you will also have to face additional charges for attempting to shield yourself or another person from being shot by a bullet. These additional charges will be brought against you in addition to the punishment for the offense itself. You are going to be held accountable for these additional charges regardless of whether or not you were successful in your defense. Number 9. No sweets for adults. If you are older than 14 years old and live in Chesapeake City, Virginia, you are not permitted to participate in the tradition of trick-or-treating. Adults are only permitted to take part in the activities associated with trick-or-treating if they are doing so in the position of accompanying a child. Adults are not permitted to engage in the activity themselves. However, individuals who are under the age of 14 will also be expected to comply with a curfew at 8:00 p.m., so they are not fully exempt from limitations. The curfew will be enforced on Friday and Saturday nights. Number 8. No donkeys in Arizonian bathtubs. This law in the United States is without a doubt the most bizarre one on our list of odd laws that are currently in effect in the country. In the 1920s, a donkey was found dozing off inside of a bathtub at a home in Arizona that had been flooded. The donkey was eventually washed away by the water as the house was engulfed in water as a result of the bathtub's overflowing contents. The compassionate people who lived in the town were able to save the defenseless animal, but they didn't waste much time before creating a legislation that would make it illegal for a circumstance similar to this one to arise in the future. Number 7. No long-haul sailing in Georgia. According to a statute that came into effect in 1992, it is against the law in the state of Georgia to stay on a boat for more than 1 month at a time without getting off the water. 1992 was the year that finally saw the implementation of this regulation. The anti-encroachment provisions of the ordinance were directed on the presence of decaying dwellings on the Altamaha River. These homes were probably seen as a detriment to tourism or as a threat to the environment, and hence they were the target of these provisions. Number 6. Sip and spit only. In spite of the fact that the minimum age to purchase alcohol in 4 states in the United States is 21, there is a unique loophole. Students at a culinary school in Illinois are allowed to taste wine even if they are under the age of 21 as long as they spit it out afterward. It was claimed that people who are interested in pursuing a profession in the culinary arts should have a solid grasp of wine, since this would be a key component in acquiring a quality education. This was stated because wine would be an essential component in determining the level of education one would receive. As a direct response to this issue, the state legislature devised the Sip and Spit statute, which stipulates that culinary trainees are permitted to taste wine as long as they spit it out afterward. This is done so that the kids in question are guaranteed to have the capacity to understand one of the most significant components of their education. Number 5. Your bingo game has a time limit. It's fascinating how even the seemingly innocent game of bingo can be subject to unique legal regulations, as exemplified by North Carolina's intriguing laws. In a bid to ensure responsible gaming, the state imposes a time limit of 5 hours for a single bingo game. This provision not only aims to prevent excessive and prolonged gameplay, but also aligns with the state's stance on alcohol consumption. Interestingly, the prohibition of being under the influence of alcohol while engaging in bingo adds an additional layer of complexity to the situation. This legal quirk serves as a reminder of the diverse and sometimes unexpected ways in which states choose to regulate recreational activities within their jurisdictions. intertwining issues of time, alcohol, and entertainment in a manner that underscores North Carolina's unique legal landscape. Number 4. Netflix password sharing, not in Tennessee. When it comes to the ever-evolving landscape of digital content consumption, a quirk in Tennessee's legal code stands out: the prohibition of sharing Netflix passwords. While the act of sharing streaming service credentials has become commonplace in many households, Tennessee's law takes a distinctive stance on this practice. The state's legislation prohibits the unauthorized sharing of login information for subscription-based streaming services like Netflix. This law highlights the intricate interplay between technology, entertainment, and legal considerations, shedding light on how states navigate the challenges posed by the digital age. It serves as a reminder that even in the realm of virtual entertainment, legal boundaries and regulations continue to evolve to address emerging issues in novel ways. Number 3. No hunting in cemeteries. Following an instance in which a hunter in Oregon stole animals from a cemetery, the legislature of that state established a provision that makes it illegal to steal game from sacred ground. You have to ask to what extent the majority of people in a community would have the precise knowledge to be able to hurl the book at someone, even if there are a lot of people in the United States who believe that adhering to this odd legislation is the morally correct thing to do. However, there are a lot of people who believe that sticking to this legislation is the morally correct thing to do. Number 2. No pinball in South Carolina. Surprisingly, South Carolina stands as one of the few places where the familiar allure of pinball machines is conspicuously absent. A vestige of an older era, a law on the books in the state once prohibited the operation of pinball machines. This quirky restriction, a remnant of a bygone era when pinball was associated with gambling and moral concerns, adds a touch of peculiarity to South Carolina's legal landscape. While the ban has largely fallen into obscurity and is not actively enforced, it serves as a reminder of how laws can reflect shifting societal attitudes and perceptions over time. Number 1. Cheat days incoming in Mississippi. According to a decision that was handed down in Mississippi in 2013, it was ruled that it was not practicable to execute the requirement that restaurants reveal the nutritional characteristics of their offerings. This is consistent with the circumstances that exist in a large number of other states in the United States. This clause is incorporated in the anti-Bloomberg bill, which also exempts those eating establishments from the requirement that they restrict the amount of food that customers can order at a time. Find out whatever further information you can on the law by looking into its history. It's possible that this isn't the best state to visit if you're seeking to trim down your waistline. That's a wrap for today's video. What are your thoughts on our list? Let us know in the comment section below. And make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more future videos.